Hey everybody, welcome back. John Reinhardt here with Reinhardt Group LLC, and today's episode is centered around the full review on my DJI Mavic 3 Classic. I've got about 3 months of heavy use under my belt, and I can tell you that I've had some serious ups and downs with this thing. And if you find this video helpful, hit that subscribe button, but let's get to it. I'm so excited. I like my good news first. Let's start off with the reasons why I'm happy that I did buy the DJI Mavic 3 Classic. My first positive goes to the versatility of the Mavic 3 Classic. They are so versatile that in fact I flew it right here in this room in my last video. The link will be in the description. And the reason these Mavic 3 Classics are so versatile brings me to my second positive, which would be the lightweight structure. And that was an absolute necessity for me because I am on the go so much, I do not have the ability to lug something heavy around. So we've got a takeoff weight of 895 grams, which is just shy of 2 pounds. I bet I can get some serious distance on this thing. And if you do decide to chuck it, what happens when this thing hits the ground? Which brings me to my third positive is the durability of these DJI Mavic 3 Classics. Now I'm a little ashamed with how many times this thing has hit the ground, but it has held up phenomenally. I definitely have battle scars all over the drone, but the most I've had to do is replace propellers. And the propellers aren't dirt cheap, but they're cheap enough not to break the bank. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description. Speaking of things that can break the bank, one of the most expensive things on this drone is the battery. But I do believe there's a specific reason behind this, because usually when manufacturers list the details about electronics like this, they have a tendency to overpromise and underdeliver when it comes to the battery life. But when it comes to the Mavic 3 Classic, DJI underpromise and overdeliver with the battery life. I think DJI's website quotes the battery life at 46 minutes. And the way that I would look at that is about 46 minutes of continuous travel at a medium speed. So for me, my average flight time is anywhere between 3 and 6 minutes. I get on location, put the drone up, take my photos, bring it back down, and then I'll get 8 to 10 of those sessions per battery. And you just heard me reference medium speed, which brings me to my fifth positive, is the variable speed settings that this DJI Mavic 3 Classic has. Now don't get me wrong, I love to put this thing in sport mode and watch it fly at 21 meters per second, which is about 47 miles an hour. But what really makes it a positive is the cinematic mode, where it slows the drone down to help you get those dangerous shots. Just like the situation at Bluffton Nature Preserve, where I had to bring the drone down through the trees over the river. To grandmother's house we go. And if one of those trees touches that drone is going into the water and it's gone forever. And say goodbye to $2,000 just like that. But believe it or not, the cost of the drone is actually my sixth positive. And I went ahead and put the pricing straight from DJI's website right there. I'll post a link to the website in the description. Even though DJI offers a 14-day money-back guarantee and 1% store credit for your order total, it still doesn't beat Amazon Prime's 5% cash back with their Amazon Prime card. And then Amazon Prime's return policy is second to none. Sorry, DJI. And I'm not someone that gets easily distracted by a good price. I need quality, and more specifically, the camera quality. Which brings me to my last and final positive, which is the Hasselblad 4/3 CMOS 20 megapixel camera. Say that 10 times fast. I won't read off every single specification that has to deal with the camera, but I'll put it all right here. You can see it, check it out right there. Here are a couple examples of footage that I have taken. I'll go ahead and put links in the description for more videos if you want to see exactly what the footage looks like that's coming from the DJI Mavic 3 Classic. That would be my list of things that I love about the DJI Mavic 3 Classic. But let's do a little bit of a recap before I go in on this thing. So 1, very versatile. You can fly it right here in this room. The link will be in the description. 2, lightweight, 895 grams, 2 pounds. 3, very durable. You can chuck this thing, you can drop it, it can hit the ground, no problem. 4 would be the battery life. I'm getting 8 to 10 sessions per battery. 5 would be the variable speeds. Sometimes you absolutely need those variable speeds to slow things down for you. Number 6 would be the cost at $1749 with the smart controller. It's one of the best deals on the market. And the last and final positive was the camera quality, which the Hasselblad 4/3 CMOS is amazing. And if you're finding this video helpful, please hit that subscribe button. But now it is time to get down and dirty and drag the DJI Mavic 3 Classic through the mud with the things that I hate.
Don't be hating.
And the first thing that I despise are the disconnection issues, the signal interference that is almost a guarantee every time you're out flying. And this is something that will start out as a minor inconvenience. You'll start to notice it pop up on your screen every now and then, but occasionally it will completely disconnect from the drone. The screen will be completely black, and then luckily every time for me the drone has returned home. But there are stories out there where the drones just fall right out of the sky. And that's the reason that the disconnection issues are my top dislike, because over the weekend I recently had the worst disconnection problem that I've ever had with the Mavic 3 Classic. It was at top altitude near a large building, which I do take responsibility for that. I should have been more aware with these large buildings with large satellites on top of them. Yes, you are more prone to a disconnection issue. And the entire time that the disconnection issue is going on, my screen is completely black. I have no idea what is going on. The only thing I can think about is one of these propellers clipped in the side of that chase building and this thing falling and hitting someone in the head. Murder. So just making sure we're all on the same page here, there are large satellites on top of large buildings that will mess with your signal transmission. I'm also going to be looking into the RC Pro controller. And if you have an RC Pro controller, do you mind leaving me a comment on what you like about it, what you hate about it? Would you buy it again? My second dislike would be that the focus track needs some work. And the focus track has 3 settings. 1, it'll spotlight you so it'll stay in a central location and keep the camera on you. 2, it'll do circles, semicircles around a specific object. And then 3, the follow feature, which it'll follow you from the front, it'll follow you from the back, it'll follow you from the sides, which is really awesome until it loses track of you, which honestly happens so often that I rarely even use the focus track feature. And that's kind of a bummer, because this was one of the main reasons I bought a drone, is so that it could follow me when I'm doing my action sports, skateboarding, dirt biking, four-wheeling, whatever it is. That was one of the reasons I wanted this thing. As a matter of fact, the first time that I ever used a focus track feature, I was at the skate park and it lost track of my body and then flew into a gaggle of trees, which brings me to my third dislike, and that would be the collision sensors. I might take a little heat from this one, but I seriously put more faith in Casey Anthony running a daycare than these collision sensors, given it is my fault for flying the drone near something that could damage it. But what is the point of having collision sensors that don't really work? And the most that you're gonna get is a warning on the controller that says this object is 1.2 meters away. I'm still gonna hit it, but just letting you know, it is 1.2 meters away. Thank you. I'll see you at the DJI repair shop. And speaking of broken parts would bring me to my next dislike, which are the accessory costs. One of the most common accessories to buy for the Mavic 3 Classic is the Fly More kit, which comes with 2 extra batteries, a charging tower, a couple propellers, and a bag for $600. And it's not much of a deal once you break it down. Each one of the batteries are about $203. So if I needed extra batteries, I'm just gonna pay the $400, and then I'm gonna go get a nice bag, not the one that comes with the Fly More kit. And that's exactly what I did. I did not go through DJI. I got a Lycus M1 bag that I absolutely love. And once you get a nice bag, it'll be a complete game changer for your drone photography. You can carry everything with you. I love it. I'll be doing a product review on it, actually. And another thing that's ungodly expensive would be the RC Pro controller, coming in at $1,200. And I make this financial point for 2 reasons. One reason, I can buy an entire DJI Mavic 3 Classic for $1,470, or the controller for $1,200. Ooh, you know, I might just buy another drone. And the second reason being, if I had $1,200 spend, am I gonna spend it on the RC Pro controller, or am I gonna spend it on the iPhone 14 Pro Max with 256 gigs worth of storage? I really can't believe those two are even in the same opportunity cost bracket. So for $1,200, I better be able to fly this thing to Mars and back and make a pit stop at Uranus if I want to. You can't even watch porn on the RC Pro controller, so for me, I'm going iPhone 14 Pro Max all day long. And that leads me to my last and final complaint about the DJI Mavic 3 Classic, which is the fact that it is not very user-friendly if you want to get your footage off of the drone. You need to be connected to Wi-Fi in almost every scenario if you want your footage off of your drone onto your phone. You can take the SD card out of the drone and put it in your controller, and yep, I got the photos on my controller, but it doesn't do me any good. If you want the photos on your phone, you need to be connected to Wi-Fi. And I think a little bit of this comes to the fact that I am spoiled by my GoPro. GoPro, where I can take the footage from the GoPro, put it on the GoPro app, and then airdrop it to my MacBook anywhere at any time whenever I need to. That saves me so much time. Hopefully DJI sees this video and hears us loud and clear and we get some airdropping going on. We did a recap for the positives, now let's do one for the negatives. Dislike number 1 was the disconnection issues that I have suffered from Ohio to Florida. Dislike number 2 was that the focus track does not focus too well. Dislike number 3, the collision sensors, they're gonna collide. Dislike number 4 is the fact that the accessories cost more than the drone itself. And then dislike number 5 is the lack of a user-friendly interface when it comes to transferring your videos to wherever that you need them. So the question is, would I buy the DJI Mavic 3 Classic again? And the answer is yes, I would. I would definitely buy it again. I think this is a great beginner drone. For the price of what you're getting, there really is no better entry-level drone. And even if you're not entry-level, even if you've been doing this for a while and you want to upgrade what you got, this would be a nice upgrade right here. And that right there is pretty much all that I have to say about the DJI Mavic 3 Classic at this point in time. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. I would so greatly appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the review on the Mavic 3 Classic bag that I did end up going with, which was the Lycus M1. It's a phenomenal bag. Don't miss that review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.